Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday night. Joining me on my Friday Night Live is my friend Ian, who's down here below me. Hi, Ian.
Wait, are we doing picture in picture? We are not yet. But
Not
hi,
yet.
hi everyone. There's so much stuff that happens before we actually get on. It's the whole thing. You'll see later.
It's a whole thing. So tonight we are working on this block that is going to be kind of amazing. It's 16, yeah,
Yeah.
16 half square triangle units that are going to make what we call the double arrow block. And Ian picked this out, so we're going to walk through this together. He's going to make a version that is slightly smaller than what I'm making, so he'll give you all of his cutting instructions. But for the one that I'm going to make, my block is going to finish at 9 inches. And if you want the pattern for that, it's actually over on my website for the fabric requirements and cutting instructions. So if you just hop over to SEWBECCA.com, in the upper right hand corner, there's a link that says patterns, and you're going to choose the one that says double arrow block. And I believe that might be pinned at the top of the chat on my channel. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about, which is kind of fun, is we are using Restream to push tonight's live stream. So this is actually not just live on my channel, it is live on Ian's channel as well.
It is live on my channel, which is super awesome. Technology is so much fun when it works.
When it works.
When it works.
When it works. So for those of you that are here, welcome. If you haven't checked out Ian's channel, you can get a link to his channel by doing !Ian in the chat, and that'll give you a link over to his YouTube channel. If you are watching this on my channel as the replay, I will pin his channel in the first comment down below this video. And if you're watching this on Ian's channel and you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Becca. Come on over and check out my channel.
Go check out Becca. She's kind of an awesome person.
Well, I paid him to say that, but that's okay.
No, she did not.
So tonight we're going to work on that block. A couple of things, housekeeping things before we get started, and I don't even remember what they were.
I mean, you talked about the restream. You talked about if you need help or anything else, just exclamation help or exclamation welcome. Is that what?
Yep.
On your channel, not on my
just,
channel. I don't have the thing set up on my channel, unfortunately.
That's okay, but I will walk you through all the things. So I think, why don't we stop for a second here? Because I think a lot of people know who I am. They're probably, I won't say that everybody's watching from my channel. I'm sure people are watching from yours too. But why don't I pause for a second and let you introduce yourself to the audience? I know they've seen you a couple of times on camera. They've seen you in the chat. Definitely. They know you're a puzzle mystery quilt ambassador. Well, if they don't, I guess they do now. Why don't you talk a little bit about who you are and what you do on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Ian off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, wait, I say that on every video, and it just kind of falls out whenever I'm even just talking about it. But hope you're having a good day. I'm Ian, the off Kilter Crafter, and I do a lot of different crafts. It's not just sewing for me. My channel also has a lot of paper crafting because I originally got going doing paper crafting, and sewing has kind of stolen my heart. So I go back and forth between paper craft and sewing. I live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, I should say. It seems like everybody knows where DFW is, but you never know. Anyways, I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth, and yeah, I'm just so happy to have Becca invite me onto her channel and do this fun block together. I did just realize I was going to print out the block and have the picture here so I could reference it, and so Becca, you may have to set me through this one because I failed.
Not a problem. Your audio is coming through a little, almost like there's a lot of white noise behind you. Is there a chance we can get you to try your computer mic and see what, or maybe your AirPods, change your audio device?
Yep.
Just that actually picked up. That picked up a whole lot better, whatever you just did. And while he's doing that, I'll share a funny story with you guys. So when when we do a live stream like this, we usually jump into the room for just a few minutes before the live stream to make sure all the tech's working. And I'm not joking. My wireless mic that I have, every single time I touched it, Ian just kept hearing this buzzing sound. So we think that I repel mics. That's what we think. So
I don't think you repel mics. I think you're just the bionic woman.
It's actually worse, by the way, if you want to keep troubleshooting. Yeah, it was funny. So we were doing this thing where like I would touch the mic and he'd like I hear the buzz and then I'd like, ooh, lots of background white noise on your end. That's actually got worse.
Is that better at all?
No, the white noise is like constant now and it's loud. Your voice
All
is
right.
though. Oh, are
You,
you using OBS? Is wait, hold on,
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, I'm using
Okay,
OBS.
perfect. You sound a whole lot better now.
Okay, we'll go with that. Let's hope that works.
Yeah, that it's not as clear of an audio, but the background noise is gone and you're a little bit louder. So we'll see how that works.
Okay. We swear we troubleshooted everything before we got in live, and now it's as soon as Becca hit the live button, everything goes to haywire. If you see me over here, I'm working on my laptop trying to fix things, so I apologize. Let me do one more thing. Let me see if I can. Is that better at all?
Keep talking. I can't tell unless you're
Oh,
talking.
hello everyone. I'm Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. This is wonderful when we have technology problems in the middle of a live video.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay.
So let's just go with it the way it is. I have a
Okay.
couple of thoughts of things that we could do in the future, but from my end, you sound crystal clear. So let's just stick with it. We can hear
Okay.
what you're saying. That's all that matters.
Excellent. Hopefully everybody out there in YouTube land, let us know what it sounds like for you and if everything sounds good and you can hear us. Because for some reason when I made some changes, Becca, you dropped out. Like I can barely hear you, but I think it's only a me thing, not a YouTube thing. So
Okay, if everybody can just let me know if they can hear Ian. He was just talking for a little bit, so you got to hear him. And then what I'm looking for from viewers is that my audio is coming through okay. It sounds like we've got a couple of folks saying everything sounds
everything's good.
okay.
Okay, great.
Good. So we're going to go with it.
All
All
right.
right. So what are we going to do tonight? Are you going to use those 2.5-inch pieces that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to switch my cameras so I can show off my fabric a little bit better. Basically, what I'm going to be using tonight is this is the blue fabric, this is the yellow fabric, and then I have some white fabric. This is all Juicy Juice. As many of you know on my YouTube channel, I love Juicy Juice fabric. Also on my Instagram, I talk about Juicy Juice fabric all the time. But I had already done pre-cuts. I just had them already around. And so I decided, since they were just laying around doing nothing for me, I would use them for today's projects because they'll be perfect. These are 2.5-inch wide. And so what I'm going to do is cut these down to basically 2.5 by 2.5-inch squares to make my block. So mine's going to be a little bit smaller than what Becca's is going to be.
Yep. And so what I'm going to be doing is cutting all of mine into 3.5-inch squares. And I'll show you what I've got for my lovely fabrics. I've got my water bottle way over here. We're just going to put this back here. I love doing this series because I feel like, let me just talk to you for a minute. I feel like with this series, it's very fun for me because I get to make a block at a time. But the blocks that we're doing each time, these could totally be turned into a quilt. I've seen lots of people take one block and just repeat that block however many times they need. If you're going to do like 8 by 10, you'd make 80 of them. And so we're teaching you how to make a block, and then you can just keep making that however many times you want to put in your quilt, and they're a variety of sizes. For me, every time I put one of these together, I'm going to aim to have the block finish at about 9 inches. But the thing that I like about it is I'm only going to make one of these blocks whenever I do it. And then all of those blocks, I'm going to put into a quilt top that will help me remember that fun event that I had with my friend on YouTube live stream. So I've already got one. I've got the churn dash that I did with the Quilting Marine. You guys remember when he was on here and I thought I was going to be live for 2 hours and we had it done in record time.
I saw that.
You know,
I saw that. That was pretty funny.
I was like, well, I guess we're done. So Ian and I picked something a little bit more complicated so that we can make this one last a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you the fabric that I picked. And actually, when I say I picked, I actually didn't pick it. Ian did.
We
so as
picked
most
it
of
together. We picked it together.
Oh, okay, but you're going to get credit for this. So I chose this, or blame, Jason said. By the way, Jason's in the room actively listening to the conversation, and literally I could probably throw popcorn in his mouth if I had some. He's hanging out with me tonight, just a moral support.
You're addicted
Anyway,
to that popcorn.
oh gosh, it's 0 points, dude. Air pop, 0 points. It fills me up. And you get a lot of it. So anyway, I got this white on white dot, and then I got these 2 pieces of fairy dust from Tula Pink. And I chose these because I know Ian loves him some Tula Pink, and I actually really like these colors, and I love this fabric line. So this isn't just something that I appreciate and love. This is also fabric that reminds me of something that Ian would pick. So I'm really excited to put this together. So what
And
I did,
also, if anybody,
also.
my birthday is on Monday, so if anybody wants to send me some Tula Pink, no, I'm kidding, I'm totally kidding.
I bet you he will take your Tula Pink fat quarter. Like, everybody just send him a Tula Pink fat quarter, just one.
My postman has like a mountain of Tula Pink, and I'm like, well, happy birthday to me.
That's awesome. All right. So, oh, and by the way, I see Tracy from the Sewing Channel is in the live chat. You guys need to check out her channel. She has got a video on scrum piecing, which is crumb piecing with a purpose. And she's going to be here live with me 2 weeks from today. And we're going to do that right here on my channel. So if you haven't checked out her channel, yeah, make sure to do that. And oh, by the way, Ian says hi. All right. So what I have done is I have cut out 4-inch strips of fabric that I'm going to subcut down. And I'm going to walk you through what I subcut mine into. Ian's going to do his, but his are going to be smaller. So he's going to end up with a smaller block. Mine will be 9.5 inches when we're done tonight. So my back, go ahead.
And I promise you, I'm not ignoring Becca and texting. I had to pull the pattern up because I forgot to print it out. So if you see me looking at my phone, I promise you, I'm looking at the pattern trying to figure out which ones do I need for which blocks.
No worries, no worries. All right, so I think the first thing I'm going to work on is my background fabric. And now whatever I'm using for my background, you're going to need twice as much as everything else. So I know I need 8 squares that are going to measure 3.5 inches from my background fabric. And spoiler alert, I did grab a fat quarter for this, so I actually have 2 strips instead of one that is with the fabric. So I'm just going to take this and fold it. I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to trim this down to 3.5 inches. I have grossly overcut this because that's what I do in my world. But don't worry, Tiffany gets all my scraps. It's fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Tiffany
Everything's
gets
fine.
my scraps. She has agreed to take pieces of fabric that are just an inch in width. It's okay. All right, so this one is cut down to 3.5 inches. I have it folded in half just so I can get 2 pieces from each cut. I know I need 8 altogether, and they have to be 3.5 inches. So 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. And then if I added another half, it would be 10.5. And I'm going to line up my 10.5, or I'm sorry, 10.5/8 of this ruler on the fold. I'm going to cut off over here, flip this around, and then this cut edge that I just cut, I'm going to line that up on my 10.5 inch mark on my ruler. And then I'm going to make sure that my ruler down here, one of the lines is right on the bottom raw edge that I cut, and I'm going to cut this off. That's going to be my fold. So now I have 2 free floating standing pieces underneath my ruler, and I can just measure. So the way I do this to make it faster is I'm just going to move my ruler over 3.5 inches, which means that 7-inch line is going to go right on that edge of my fabric, and I'm going to take a cut. That's going to give me 2 pieces. And now I'm going to move my ruler down 3.5 inches so that the 3.5 inch mark is on that raw edge right here. And I'm going to take a cut. That's going to give me 2 more pieces. And then I have 2 here. So that's 6. I need 2 more to get to my 8. So I could cut this whole thing up into 3.5 inches, or I can just simply cut a 3.5 inch by 7 inch piece, just like this, and then subcut this down so that I have a bigger section of scrap. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm cutting a 3.5 inch by 7 inch piece, and then I'm going to subcut this into 2 squares so that I have 8 background squares measuring 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. How are you doing with your background cutting, Ian?
I'm doing good. I just finished my background, so I have 8 squares of 2.5 by 2.5 squares.
Awesome.
Squares
Awesome.
of squares.
Squares of squares. We're going to set that aside, and now we're going to pull our print fabrics. And this I have way grossly overcut from yardage because I only need 4 squares from my print A and my print B fabric. So from both of these, I am going to cut 4 squares at 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now, if you're
we only need 4
from
1,
each print,
2,
yes.
3, 4. Oh, right, because they're half square. Never mind. I figured it out. Figured it out. Math was never my subject.
Well, do you want to walk people through the thought process that just went through your head? Because I'm sure somebody else is thinking the same thing.
Absolutely. As I look at the diagram, I see that there are 8 blocks that have the pattern fabric in it. And I freaked out because I was like, wait a minute, how are we going to make all of this out of just 4 squares? And then I remembered we cut them in half so that they're half square triangles. Duh, Ian. And so I freaked out for a moment because I was thinking, wait, there's got to be more fabric than that. But no, it's just 4 squares because we cut them in half.
That's right. I'm so proud of you. You can count.
Can I, though?
That remains to be seen. We'll find out.
Yeah, exactly.
So same thing here. What I am doing to make the most out of my yardage, I like to keep my screeps. That'll go in the blooper reel.
There you go.
I like to keep my scraps as big as I can get them. So I try to keep the piece that's folded off to the right, and I'll measure from the selvage in. So I'm going to cut off a 3.5 inch by 7 inch section. This is 2 layers. So I'm going to get 2 pieces each time I take a slice, and that's going to give me this nice big piece of scrap that we're all drooling over because, I mean, goodness, isn't that great? It's beautiful.
You know, one of my favorite words, and I saw, I don't know why this hit me so funny, but it did, over on Ginny from Missouri Star Quilt Company. She did a YouTube video, and she said the word selvage in it, but she pronounced it like salvage. I don't know. There was something funny about the way she said it, because people can get a little bent out of shape if you don't say it right. But she was like salvage, you know, and she was playing into it, but it was very sultry. Salvage.
So the next thing that I'm going to do while you're finishing getting all of your things organized, I'm going to take
I don't know how you get anything done with me, but anyway.
I just ignore you. I'm going to take all of my background fabric, and because this is tone on tone trips me up every time I work with it, because I can never tell what is the right side and what is the wrong side when I'm working with it. So a lot of times when I'm sitting at the sewing machine, I'm doing this thing where I'm like, where's the light? I can't see. So yep. I feel like if I take a moment, and if you have a big stack, it can take a while, and just fix them so they're all going in the same direction, then I don't have to think about it when I'm sewing. It just becomes, I'm organized and I'm ready to go. So
I definitely, on this last puzzle mystery quilt, Olympia, the colorway that I had Tula Pink fabric in it, and it was tone on tone. And that was one of the biggest things that I reminded everybody when I was doing my tutorials, is make sure you know which side is which, because it can get a little hairy.
Yeah, absolutely. While you are finishing cutting, let's read through the chat. We've got Susan Year Out. She says, I have totally finished quilting the background of my 1995 bed-size UFO and have started on the green stars. Started hand quilting it a year ago. Congratulations, Susan. That's awesome.
That's
Way to
awesome.
go. I would love to see a picture of it. You should share that in the Facebook group. All right. Bernie Chamberlain said, if I can scroll down here, well, I was trying to get her pinned, but she said that she does the same thing. Where is the
Hmm.
light?
Yep. I had to hold it in
All
my
right.
sewing machine light to see it.
Yep. It looks like you are ready to move on. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, let's move
All
on.
right. Okay, so my next step is going to be to take these big, or not big, because they're the same size, right? All of the squares are the same size. Our
Yep.
background squares we want to take, and we took a minute to organize these so that the right side is face up. I'm just going to turn my whole stack over so that the wrong side is now up, and I'm going to take every single one of these, and I'm going to mark a diagonal line from corner to corner on the back side of this square. And this is going to serve as the guide that we use to stitch our 1/4 inch. And by the way, if you're doing the version that I'm doing, you could probably have gotten away with cutting the squares at 3 1/4 inches if you don't want to waste any fabric. But I did give you slightly bigger measurements so that, did I just draw this on the right side? I did, because I'm sitting here talking like I'm so used to flipping. Anyway, you could cut this at 3 1/4 if you wanted to, if you're confident in your seam allowance and you don't want to waste anything. But I gave you cutting instructions that are big enough that will allow you to square things up. So I'm going to show you how to square up a half square triangle unit after we put these together. Ian, I don't know if you'll have grossly oversized. It'll be interesting to see what yours finish up. If you're working with 2 1/2, I wonder if your half square triangle units will measure at like 2 inches or
Yeah,
just under.
I don't know what's going to happen. And I'll be honest, a lot of times when I'm working with half square triangles, I don't even square them up because I'm a rebel. um, but no, most of the time I don't. I did do a quilt. It's on my Instagram. This was a couple of years ago. It was right at the beginning of COVID. Since we were all staying at home, I put together a quilt of my own design using some fabric from Heather Givens, also known as Crimson Tape. And it's the entire quilt is half square triangles. And
Wow.
I did go ahead and square those up because there were so many of them that it would throw things completely off if I didn't. By the way, I'm using, let me show the camera here. I'm using a friction color marker. These are great. Friction markers are great for marking fabric because the moment you hit them with heat, it goes away. Some people have said that it does come back, like in colder climates, it will return. And I did confirm that because I put it in the freezer for a little while. Here in Texas, we don't get very many cold temperatures. And it did come back. But if you put it through the washing machine, it's gone forever.
Oh, well, that's good to know that it's gone forever. I actually had a bad experience with a friction pen because, well, all right, so I have seen it come back in projects. I used
Mm-hmm.
it to mark the right side of fabric on purses that
Yep.
were not intended to be washed, and so it has come back under the right
Mm-hmm.
climate conditions.
Yep.
But I saw early on a red friction pen discolor the dye on a piece of fabric, and so I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
stayed away from them. I use, and I'll show you here, I use a water soluble marker. This is actually 2-in-1. This side is water soluble, this side is air soluble. The air soluble is great because the line disappears without you doing anything, but it goes
Mm-hmm.
away pretty quickly, so I don't like to use these. I use the water soluble. It is more finicky to get rid of the marks, but I don't have to worry about it messing the color fastness of my fabric or ever coming back if it's a project that's not going to be washed. So that's my preferred tool. Huh?
I got to tell you a story because I
Sure.
did a swap. It was a mini quilt swap, and I was doing a paper piece mini quilt, and I was using white fabric. A lot of it was white fabric, but a lot of it was solid colored fabric. And I was using a kid's glue stick to do the paper piecing, which it shouldn't have been a big deal, except I didn't realize that the one I grabbed had purple. Now it dries clear, so it's not a big deal. So I was using the glue stick and sticking the fabric on, and my white fabric was actually showing some of the purple. And I was a little like freaked out about that. So I pieced it all together, got it all together, and it was just kind of barely showing where bits had not completely dried all the way. So I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll just take it into the, I took it into the shower and gave it a bath in the shower, and it rehydrated the glue and it turned purple again. So that was fun. There were purple blotches throughout the entire thing. Thankfully, I figured out how to get it taken care of, and like you could just barely see. But recommendation: don't use the purple glue, school glue from Elmer's. Use the white school glue or stuff that's intended for that, because you can get yourself into trouble.
Yep. And then Wendy K actually said that she has found if you iron over the water-soluble pens, they can become very difficult to get out. I haven't noticed that, but what I have noticed is if I mist my fabric with water or Best Press, any liquid, and I don't let that liquid sit on the fabric where the water-soluble mark is long enough for the ink to basically dissolve. So if I spritz it and then put my iron on it right away, I've got to go back over it and do it a second or third time. So my remedy for that is when I'm done with a project, I will mist it and let it air dry if I need the marks to come out entirely, or I'll toss it in the wash. And yes, I know, if I toss it in the wash, then I could have just used the friction pen and saved myself the nightmare. Don't ask me. It's a brain thing. There's no rules in sewing. You do what you want to do in your sewing room. Ian uses a friction marker. Go for it, bro. You are golden. I will use this that is much more work.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, I did want to show this off really quick. So I have got this super cute little tiny block. And would you believe these little half square triangles measured at, they're going to finish at, let me see if I can measure this. They're going to finish at 1 1/4 inches.
Wow.
How stinking cute is this?
That's perfect
I know.
for a postcard.
Oh, speaking of, oh, Ian, did you see this piece of mail that I got?
Oh, you do.
I got it. This showed up in the post.
What is that?
So, it's upside down. There, now it's right side up.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it can go either way.
So this is a fabric postcard that Ian did while he was at QuiltCon, and he sent it to me. And y'all have this is the infamous mail that I couldn't find
For a long time. For a long time, you couldn't find it.
The QuiltCon was in February.
Yeah.
And it's now May. You want to know where it was?
In your defense, I didn't send it to you until what, April, I think. So it's all good.
It's okay. I will tell you, and this is where things get hilarious. My room is not completely chaotic. It's not always a disaster. And for the past few months, it really hasn't been very messy. It was sitting on the chair that I have pushed under my long arm. So I kept looking on like my Martelli table, which is where all of my stuff that was dumped was, and I was like, it's not through here. I don't know where it is. And then I decided to load a quilt on the long arm, and so I had to pick up the stuff that was on the seat and move it. And when I did, I was like, oh, there's the postcard.
You have horizontal surface syndrome like I do.
Wait, what's that now?
It's horizontal surface syndrome. Anytime there's a clear, unused horizontal surface, you throw something down on it.
Okay, I like that. HSD.
Yep. You just walk in the door.
surface.
There's a clear
HSS.
horizontal, and just you put everything down, and it just stays there.
All right. Are you ready to move on to the next step?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So what I'm going to do now that I have all of my lovely squares cut to the same size, and that's really the key here. You can make this block whatever size you want it to be, as long as you have 8 background squares, 8 squares of your background fabric, 4 squares of print 1, and 4 squares of print 2, and all of your squares are the same size. Ian's doing 2.5, I'm doing 3.5. It really just, whatever works for you. You can make them 5-inch squares if you want to pull them from a stacker. The goal here is just 3 prints, 4 of 1, 4 of 2, and 8 of background. So what I'm going to do next is, why are you laughing?
I can see the chat, and I'm seeing people pop into the chat saying, "Oh my gosh, I have that." They have horizontal surface syndrome.
Oh, you started a thing.
I did start a thing. Please use that from now on and tag me in. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we should make that a trend. Everybody should take pictures of their cluttered surfaces, post them on Instagram, tag Ian, and say, "I have." Hi, my name is so and so, and I suffer from horizontal surface syndrome.
There you go.
So
and then we could do one of those. We could do one of those in the arms of the angels.
Angels fly away. Yeah. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
So what I'm doing now is just creating all of my pairs. I'm taking one of each of my background fabrics and I'm placing it right sides together with each of the squares from print 1 and print 2, print A, print B, whatever you want to call it. So I should have 8 little stacks of fabric that are right sides together. And if I pull it into the frame, this way, there we go. So there you go. Patty said, I agree. I agree with Ian, except my kitchen counter. And did he just snort at Becca? Maybe. Math Geek said, wait, come back, Math Geek. Math Geek said, I'd be taking pictures all day.
I also love, where'd it go? Somebody else was saying HSD, which is HSD Groups Anonymous.
That was Tracy.
Yep. Oh boy.
Melissa from Practically Creative said, I swear I'm going to put signs on horizontal surfaces that say, this is a designated empty space. With my luck, hubby would sit something on it.
Yep. Uh-huh.
That's funny. All right, okay. So do you have, you have all of your pairs ready to go?
Yes, I do.
All right, so what we're going to do next is, now follow me to the sewing machine. Follow me to the sewing machine, shall we? Look, we are at the sewing machine. Here we go. All right, so what we're going to do here is sew 1/4 inch on either side of that diagonal line for each one of these 8 pairs that we put together. So you're sewing 2 lines on each one of these 8 pieces. And because we are getting this, because we are working with pieces that are so big, it doesn't matter if you are perfectly 1/4 inch away, you're okay.
Yeah, I just realized I forgot that. Oh my gosh, what was that?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I'm having some machine noises.
Well, that usually happens when you put your foot on the pedal and you make the needle go up and down.
Yeah, no, like not good noises.
I know, I hear you. Did you figure out, Jason, how to get books on that?
There we go.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing, reading?
No, I'm drawing now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think I was that boring.
Yeah, you're boring. For Father's
You're
Day.
both horrible.
Wait, what?
I said you're both horrible.
We're both horrible? Okay. I bought for Jason this electronic notebook called a Remarkable. It's his Father's Day gift, but he got it very early. So he's sitting in the sewing room with me, just hanging out tonight. He's got one of the AirPods in his ear so he can hear the conversation between Ian and I. And he's just listening to the chat and just drawing in his notebook.
Doesn't he normally go hang out with the boys on Friday nights?
Well, apparently he wanted to hang out with you.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, what
The
did...
wife guilted me into thing.
Oh, he said the wife guilt. I did no such thing. You just didn't make any plans.
You guilted me into being in this room.
I may have guilted you into coming into the room, but I didn't guilt you into not making plans with your friends.
That's true.
True story, I walked out in the front room and homeboy was asleep on the couch.
Homeboy.
He's like... I was like, oh, hey. Stop
hey.
it. Bubba wanted to bite me.
Oh.
I didn't have the good sense to leave you alone. Oh. Everybody's saying hi to you in the chat.
Hello.
Jason's a little minor celebrity. He doesn't even know it.
Minor to a minor.
Minor to a minor. I don't even know what that means, but yes. Tracy laughed at homeboy.
I did too.
Homeboy. LOL.
Homeboy. Oh. What just happened?
Did you break a needle?
No, but I think my machine, I don't even know if you heard that or not, but it made a thud. I think my machine is trying to eat my half square triangles, or these. I love my machine. I truly, truly do. But there are just times that it just wants to eat all the corners of everything, because I should have put the smaller plate in, and I didn't do that. And so now it's trying to eat them. So give me a second.
Find a way to get the better light. Yeah, that'll work for now.
Ooh, yeah, it tried to really eat it.
It's that they're telling you that sounds like trouble, and it sounds like you're bobbing.
Yeah.
And they're telling you to use leaders and enders.
I should do that.
Well, I have all of my pieces sewn, so I will pause and let you get caught up, and we'll see what's going on in the chat, and your postcard will make a lovely mouse pad.
There you go.
You're welcome. Actually, let's put you up here.
I'm going to have to pull out my bobbin and get this all cleaned up.
Kentucky lady says, my nails look beautiful. Thank you.
They do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to turn that off because it's actually making the lighting worse. I am not, and I'll show you down here, I am actually not a solid fan. I don't like solids in my fabric. I don't like solids on my nails. I like texture. I like movement when I'm working with color fabric or whatever. So when I was quite surprised when I went in yesterday to get my nails done, and I ended up picking a solid color to put on my nails. And not only did I pick a color that I love, but I actually like how it's just color. Like there's no sheen, there's no texture, there's none of that stuff. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I love this, and I think I'm going to go with solid colors more often.
There we go. This was the cause. Figured it out, though.
What's wrong? Because people were saying they think it sounds like you're bobbing. Be interested to know what was really wrong.
It was what happens is, again, I love my machine. I very much love my machine, but what happens is there are threads, like those hanging threads, that
Mm-hmm.
will get sucked down into the bobbin area, and it will hook, and it just keeps getting wrapped more and more around the hook, and so that's kind of what's and then it doesn't advance the fabric forward because it's stuck, and then it just keeps sewing in the same place over and over again until it creates a bird's nest.
Gotcha. I had an issue with my machine a few weeks ago, and I'm not even sure what happened, to be completely honest, but I I ended up breaking a needle, and some threads got stuck down in the machine, and my silly screws that hold the needle plate in are so tight that Jason can't even get them loosened. He tried.
Oh my
We couldn't get
gosh.
them undone. You're going to need a power screwdriver or something to get them out. So I feel like I've been having issues with the machine ever since, and I know it's because I need to get in there and clean.
Yeah.
I can only clean under the needle so much without taking the needle plate off. So I think it's time to take it into my guy to have it like cleaned.
Yeah, I just had mine serviced in
Yeah,
March.
remember this the needle yeah, oh, he said you can't get the leverage. That's right.
Because you can't, you're not above it. Like
Yeah.
you got to go in at an angle to get to it, but you can't put enough pressure directly down to keep it in the thread.
Yep. Do you think WD-40 would help?
It's possible.
I don't know if you're supposed to use WD-40 on machines, on sewing machines. I think they require a special type.
Well, I did use the dextrose oil that I have a big jar of it for the machines. I did use that. I applied it to it and let it soak, and it still did nothing. So my thing at this point is I'm just going to take it into my guy who I know will be able to get in there. He'll do his thing. He'll put it back so that I can use it a little bit better, and I'll get the right tool so that I can do it in the future. I have the tool that came with this, but I feel like I'm stripping the screw at this point. It's so bad. So they're saying to use a bent screwdriver that's L-shaped because you would be able to get.
Oh.
Maybe we can look at Home Depot tomorrow and see if we can find one.
All right, my machine sounds much better. Sorry
Sure
about
does.
that, guys.
That's okay. Heather Grintz said, seriously need one of the mini ratchet screwdriver sets I told you about. It makes a big difference. You did tell me about that, and I forgot. The good news is when Bubba goes in for his spa, whenever that may be, I do have a lovely backup machine that I can pull out and use. So it's not like I'll be going without sewing.
I'm still waiting to get my backup machine serviced. As some of you may know, I inherited a featherweight, and I have been waiting. There's a gentleman who I like to go to, Boxcar Quilt, which is in Crossroads, Texas, and they are known for their featherweights. They sell featherweights, but they have a gentleman who will he spends a few months here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and when he does, he takes in the featherweights that people need serviced. And so I'm waiting to take it to him because I don't know the last time when this machine was serviced. So I'm waiting to get it serviced and taken care of, and then once that happens, I will have a backup machine.
Awesome.
I'd like to do one of the puzzle mystery quilts with it. We'll see. Sorry.
Lori Fair said those L-shaped screwdrivers are called offset screwdrivers, and Heather said, I love you. That's why I'm reminding you. Yeah, we'll go take a look tomorrow. Also, you mentioned featherweight. Shall I drop the bomb? I don't even know if you know.
I don't think I do, actually.
I am adopting in July.
A featherweight?
Uh-huh.
That's so awesome.
I have I have a friend who came across a 1948 featherweight
Ooh.
who had it for about a year and hasn't used it at all and has decided to pass it on to me, and I will pick it up in July, and I'm so beyond thrilled.
You
Like,
should be. That's so awesome.
I am
Congratulations.
so excited. It will be my travel machine. Like, when I go to retreats, classes,
Hmm.
whatever, I will be taking the featherweight. I have already bought like the canvas tote bag that goes around the hard case. I have my beautiful Nancy Jean, which is a 1938 hand crank Singer up here that Jason got for me for Christmas. I actually want, I'm going to take that with me when I go to my retreat in July because I have a friend who knows all about the vintage machines and she will help me know how to use it. I know you run the hand crank. I get
Hmm.
that, but like I want to make sure I know how to wind the bobbin and oil the machine and do all the things with it before I start using it. But once that's done, I want to challenge myself to piece an entire quilt with just that hand crank. And Tiffany said it would be great if I did it on a live stream from our driveway. Like she said I should take the hand crank out to the driveway, sit outside and just do a live stream with just one camera on me and the hand crank and just be like, "Hi guys, how's it going?"
I agree. I think that would
Jason's
be a
looking at
lot
me
of
like
fun.
I think and Jason's looking at me like I like that idea. And he's thinking of ways to make it better. I can see it on his face now.
I think he's just happy you'll be outside of the house.
Think you end up with like tennis elbow or something, tendonitis or something.
I
Tennis
can only
elbow.
do three seams today.
That's a lot of cranking.
It is a lot of cranking. It is a lot of
Sewing
cranking.
machine elbow.
But when you're hand cranking, do you go backwards or do you go forwards?
I would figure it would be the same way on the regular machine where you turn it forward. Right.
Yeah.
It's like a combination lock. You know where to turn the wheel, but you don't remember what the numbers are because your muscle memory. And so, like, yeah, you turn it forwards when you're trying to advance it. So it would be forward,
Yeah.
right?
We'll check it out. I'll check it out. But somebody asked, Nancy Guess asked, does Nancy Jean not have a foot pedal? No, because Nancy Jean is entirely man operated. There is no electricity with the hand crank. There's none. It is 100% firepower. Like what is that like?
More power.
What is the thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger firepower? Is that him? Do you know what I'm talking about?
All I can think of is what did he say?
He said, I don't have any clue what you're talking about.
All I can think of is like the Tim the Two Man Taylor. More power. Rah, rah, rah.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. Everybody's saying clockwise, so yeah, it would be that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I do want to play with her a little bit. All right, so are all of your pairs sewed together, Mr. Ian?
Yes, they are. I have my
Is it
pairs
raining again?
also.
Yes, it just started.
Oh, good grief.
No, it's not raining.
It has been raining here, not like I think it started on April 1st and I don't think it stopped. Jason and I were talking about it at lunch today. We'll go like a day or two with no rain, but if there's no light rain for a day or two, like on the third day, we get a monsoon. It's been like this for 2 months.
My gosh.
So we texted our friends. So we have friends that live in the area.
Yes,
And
we have friends.
yes, we have friends. I know. You're welcome. We have friends that live in the area, and we're pretty close with them. And they were super excited when we told them that this is where we were looking for a house. And when we finally found this one, they were beyond excited because we're about 15 minutes from them. And they said, we tease each other a little bit. And so they're looking to build a ball stadium, a sports stadium or something in this area. And so they're like, that's it. You guys brought the masses. Now everybody's going to move here. So that was the joke from a few days ago. So then I texted them today during monsoon number 58. And I said, you didn't tell us that it rained down here every single day. We should have bought an ark, not a house. Anyway.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready for step whatever we're on?
Yes, I
Yes.
think.
Yes, we are. Okay, so step whatever we're on is that we're going to take all of these pieces that we sewed together. And again, we're just taking squares. They can be any size as long as the size of your background and the size of your print is the same. You need 8 background, 4 of print A, and 4 of print B. Go ahead and cut your squares if you're just catching up. We drew a diagonal line corner to corner, and we sewed a 1/4 inch away from either side of that line. And now what we're going to do is just come in with our ruler and our rotary cutter, and we're going to cut on that line that we drew. And you're going to end up with 16 little half square triangles.
Math
You're going
is
to want to
hard.
warm, yeah, math is hard, 4 times 4. You're going to want to heat up your iron while you're cutting this, because you're going to press these either seam to the dark side or press the seams open. I think I'm going to press my seams open to help reduce bulk. And then we're going to square up the half square triangle units, and then we'll sew our block together. Bing, bang, boom, done. So Ian,
Yeah.
today is May 27th.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what special event happened today?
Was this the day that the guy in Legally Blonde not Legally Blonde, excuse me, Mean Girls asked the date? No, that's, I just listened to the Mean Girls soundtrack and they just mentioned it and I can't remember is that September? I don't remember. Anyways, no, I don't know what today is.
It has nothing to do with any of that, I can tell you that much. Today is when the Puzzle Mystery Quilt signed up.
Oh,
Signed
that's
up
right.
opened.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So
yes,
I
put
will
that
be
on
doing
my Instagram today.
Of course. So I will be doing a large in the colorway Nirvana. Is that how you say it? And
Sure, we'll
what
go
are
with that.
you going to be? Yeah. Which one are you going to be doing?
So it's funny because I didn't realize. So all of the Puzzle Mystery Quilts for this go around, the theme is Pisa. Or no, not Pisa, excuse me, Piazza. There we go, that one. And so it is, a piazza is a public square, which I had to go look that up. I don't just know Italian. And so it's a public square, basically. And I didn't realize that the one I picked was a square that I had actually been to. I picked San Marco, which is outside of the St. Marco Basilica in Venice. So it was kind of funny that I ended up picking a location that I have been to many years ago. So I thought that was a little fortuitous, I guess. I don't know. It was also Allison glass fabric, but I'm going to be doing the tutorials for that in the large quilt as well.
Awesome. I will continue to do mine through live streams. And I have been chatting with Ian a little bit about a special collab. So when we get to Clue 10, and we're probably going to try to do this for So Sweet too. Hope it's okay that you're okay with me announcing this now, Ian.
Yeah, of course.
With me? Okay.
Yeah,
When we get to Clue, what'd you say?
Too late.
Too late. Cat's out of the bag.
Too late now.
Too late now. For Clue 10, rather than, I'm going to do a live stream when I put together Clue 10. I have actually never really done any of the Clue 10s and videos because it's so much work. Ian has been doing recorded and edited videos, but I think what I'm planning to do with So Sweet is I'm going to do a live stream on a Saturday, and we're going to put all of our clues together during live stream for however long it takes to do. And Ian's going to join me, so I don't have to do like a 10-hour live stream by myself. We'll be here together, putting our Puzzle Mystery Quilts together for So Sweet, and if that goes well, I think we'll consider doing that for the next one for Piazza as well. Then he doesn't have to edit like 5 hours worth of footage.
Man, it is I love doing it though. Like, don't get me wrong. I love doing it, but it takes me an entire day to put those together. And that's not even editing the video that goes along with it. I do add extra borders to mine so that they're a little bit bigger. So it does take me a little bit longer because of that. But yeah, I hope to do the live stream because I think that's going to make it a lot easier. I do offer on my channel the shortened, abridged version of putting each clue together. So I take out the in between after you read the instructions and do all of that. I do a shorter version, so that way if you need to go to a specific spot, it's easier to find where that specific spot is in my videos. So Becca does them live, which is super awesome, and you can sew along with her. And then I do an abridged version, so that way if you're just trying to catch up or you want to pinpoint that trouble area that seems to be messing you up, you can always check out my videos.
There you go. There you go. Heather Grint said, Ian, you've seen the pillar with the Lion of Venice?
Yes, yeah, I did. I went into St. Marco's Basilica and walked around, and then I also saw the pillars of that had the lions on them. They also have the clock tower. Clock tower? I think it's a clock tower. It's the tower that's right there in Venice. And I saw that, and it was interesting to find out that that's actually the second one because the first one fell down.
Huh.
Yeah, go figure that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I am grabbing my iron. That's what I'm doing.
We are pressing all of our half square triangles open. You can press your seam to one side or you can press the seam open. I am actually taking the time. I don't know why I'm doing this. I am pressing all of my seams open. So I am opening up each half square triangle unit and I'm taking my 2 pointer fingers to separate the seam. And then I'm just dragging my fingernail right along that seam to get it to lay open a little bit. And then once I've done my whole stack, I'll go in and just put my iron on top of each of these to get them to lay super flat. I put together, I can't remember what block number it was, but I'm doing videos for the Bright Side block of the month that we got in the Sew Sampler boxes from April through March. So this is the one from last year, not the new one that they just started. I will be doing videos for those. I think I just want to get caught up on the Bright Side quilt along first. And so if you guys don't know, every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I have another block for that quilt along releasing, and I'm planning to do that every week until I'm all done. And right now, I'm on track to have that finished in the beginning of July. So check back Sunday morning at 9 a.m. There will be a video dropping for you. But I had, go ahead.
The sewing channel mentioned that I have, she says, "Aw, Ian has a baby iron. How cute." I do have a baby iron. This is the Cricut Easy Press Mini, and I love it because it has this wonderful ceramic plate on it, and it's the perfect size for, especially for like the puzzle mystery quilt clues, and for these little half square triangles. It's perfect for it.
Yeah, well, sometimes we like to do miniature piecing, and for miniature piecing, we need miniature irons.
Mm-hmm. And
I
it gets
actually love
really
miniature
hot.
piecing. Yeah.
It gets very hot.
One of the blocks that I just put together for the Bright Side quilt along, the instructions had you press all of the seams open. And I was like, okay, I'm going to follow their pressing instructions. And I could not believe the difference that it made with how flat that block laid. Mm-hmm. So when I saw all the half square triangle units that are going into this one, I was like, you know what? I'm going to press these open and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I am doing.
I'm doing that as well.
Tracy said, "Oh my word, cutest iron I've ever seen, for sure." I can hear her voice saying that too.
It is an adorable iron, and it gets hot enough that you can do infusible ink with it.
Oh, very cool. Sunny Stitcher said, "I absolutely love my little baby iron. It's so helpful to use at my small desk space." And she spelt small, S-M-O-L. So my brain immediately went to IKEA.
I think of smooth. That's what I think of, because my friend spells it that way too. She spells it smooth.
All right, we're going to let you get caught up with all of your pressing, and I will read some chat comments. Dun, da, da, da.
Are you done already?
Yeah, I'm done pressing.
Oh, all right. Well,
it's okay. What do you have, like 2 more, or?
No, I've got 2 more of this color, and then the rest of the other color. At least this isn't a pressing issue.
Ah, I see what you did there. I also got a text message which distracted me from absorbing that. Fancy. She wants to know, does it cost more than my cordless iron? So Ian, can you tell us how much does the cute little baby iron cost?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was, well, I don't want to say because I'm worried that I'm going to give you all the wrong price and then you'll yell at me and be like, Ian gave us the wrong price. It's not, it's inexpensive. I know that for sure. It's not the price of a full iron.
Gotcha. Got a couple of questions in the chat. Teresa said, Becca, are you doing videos for the Rose and Bloom So Long? Asked by Anne-Marie Mikowski. No, I'm not. And I'm already 5 months in, so probably can't go back and do that. But the next time I do a Fat Quarter Shop block of the month, I will give you videos because I actually have really enjoyed recording and editing those videos and having them up on Sundays. So once the Bright Side block of the month is done, I'm going to pick another pattern that's written already. I'm not going to write my own pattern, or another block of the month series, and I will do those videos once a week and I will announce what they are. So if it's just a pattern from like Lori Holt or something, you can pick up the pattern, pull your own fabric, and work on it that way. I'm not going to write a pattern. I just don't have the bandwidth to do that. But I do like making these videos, so I'm going to keep doing them.
People are saying that the iron is $50, $60.
Awesome. That's great. Debbie Dunn said, Becca, do we have a Zoom on Sunday? My calendar told me we do, but I don't remember, so wondering if that's an error. If you are part of the Spools group at that $4.99 perk level on YouTube, if you want to know how to join, go to SEWBECCA.com/donate. You'll get all of the details there. If you are part of that group, yes, there is a Zoom for you on Sunday, I believe at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be going over very, very, very basic foundation paper piecing. I'm just going to teach you the little bit that I know, just literally scratching the surface. And the goal with that is that maybe I can demystify some of it for you, and you can uncover whether or not this is a passion that you absolutely love. There are tons of content creators out there that have lots of content circled around foundation paper piecing. Some of them, that's all they do. Maybe you're going to discover that you love foundation paper piecing and you're going to be off and running, off with the horses and running and joining all of the things and buying all of the things and doing all of it. I'm not intending to take over the world here. I just want to share a little bit of what I know to help you decide if that's what you want to do. Plus, people ask me to do it. So that's going to be in Zoom. You have to be part of the YouTube Perks program to be a part of that Zoom call. It's not too late to sign up. If you sign up tonight, you'll be able to see the video that I've posted and the post on my community tab on YouTube. You'll get a link to the Zoom registration. You can register for it. All right, that was a whole lot of stuff. Hello, Kathy.
Somebody asked if I bought this at Walmart. I did not. I bought it from Cricut.com, and it's Cricut, Cricut, not the bug way to spell it. But I bought it off of Cricut.com. There's a blue one, a baby blue one out there right now. I bought it when it first came out, so the one I have is red.
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, I'm seeing a lot of people mention Nancy Guess in the chat, and I see her name pop up a lot. I hope she's okay. It sounds like she may have been dealing with something. So it's
actually Nancy Gus.
Thank you.
She had a biopsy.
Oh my gosh.
She's got some medical things. I don't want to get too down in the dumps,
right.
But she's going through, she's got some tests and it's going to take a week or two to come back. So just keep her in your thoughts.
Yeah, Nancy, I hope I hope everything's good, and I'll be keeping you in my thoughts for sure.
Definitely. I did have to laugh at this one. Tracy said, "Take over the world, please, SEWBECCA." No, probably not. No, probably not. I did see a couple. I know that the tipping thing well, I just want to talk about this for a second. I'm sorry. The tipping thing on the channel is not mandatory. The content that I provide on YouTube is free. It will remain free. I'm not trying to create an exclusive club. The Zoom thing is just a way for me to say thank you for those of you that do a recurring tip through YouTube. That's really what it is. So once a month we do a project together on Zoom, and last month several of the folks that were on the call asked if we could tackle just a very beginner foundation paper piecing project, and that's why we're doing that over there. I don't have a problem bringing the same types of projects that I'm doing in Zoom over to YouTube, so if there is enough interest, I am sure I could get someone that would love to do a little bit of FPP with me live on a Friday night, and we can do it together, or I can just show you the teeny bit that I know on my own. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that's not an attempt for me to exclude anybody from the audience. I just want to give back for the folks that are financially supporting me. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we all pressed and ready to go?
Yep. Time to cut
All
dog
right.
ears, right?
Well, or square them up, either way. But before we do, Miss Tracy Richmond says, just being able to log in, catch you live. So Becca, hello to you and Ian. So she says hi. Oh, Brenda was not complaining about the tits. She said she was just griping about not being able to retire. See, this is the thing. When the chat's going and you only see like 2 words, you're like, oh no, did I offend someone? And so you got to jump, like I jump on the offensive a little too quickly sometimes because I want to make sure I'm not making anybody upset. All right, we're going to square up or cut our dog ears. So,
You don't mind pissing me off.
well, I'm married to you. You can't go anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah, you're welcome.
okay.
You leaving me?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
All right, I'll see you, babe.
The chair's only so comfortable.
You can't fall asleep in
I
it?
can't fall asleep in that. So I don't want to hear me snoring.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
All right.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so for Ian is going to be just cutting the dog ears, I think. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's my squares are pretty much squaring up nicely for the most part. Because what I'm doing, I don't know if I can, let's see if I cannot melt my camera, first of all.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be, the lighting's horrible, but as you can see here, my line is going down the center of my piece here, and it looks like everything's lining up quite nicely. It looks like it's about just a hair over 2-inch square. That's happening. I don't know if this is even coming across very well on the camera, but there you go. So it looks like I'm lining everything up along that diagonal, and it's going to match up just fine.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I square up my half square triangle units, and I'm going to let you know that when I do this, I am going to be squaring up to 2 3/4 inches. Now, if you want to make this easier on yourself and you took my measurements, you probably could very easily get a 3-inch half square triangle unit out of this and have a little bit less waste. Your block will be bigger if you do that, and that's totally fine, but I want my block to be 9 inches finished, so I need my half square triangle units to measure at 2 3/4. So what I'm doing, I've got a small square ruler. I went with small because it's easier to manipulate. And I'm taking that 45-degree line that's on my ruler and I'm putting it right on top of the seam where print A or B and my background fabric come to meet. And I want to make sure that I'm doing that because that's going to make sure that this line that's going through my half square triangle unit starts in the corner and ends in the corner. And that's what's going to keep my half square triangle unit like square with the line going directly on the diagonal. So we're going to do that. I'm going to make sure that I have fabric extending off the top and the right side, and then past on the left the 2 3/4 inch line and past the 2 3/4 inch line on the bottom. And unfortunately that does mean I'm going to have to cut all 4 sides of my square, but no big deal. There's only 16 to do. So we'll cut the right and the top, and then I'm going to flip this around 180 degrees.
Oh,
and then I
just lost the camera, so I am going to change out that battery. I'll be right back.
Okay, not a problem. This time I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to put the raw cut edge on the 2 3/4 inch line, both on the left and the bottom, and I'll have a little bit less to clean up on the right and across the top. But we're going to do that, and then I just swipe this off, and then we have our little half square triangle unit all nice and pretty. So. We're just gonna, ooh, I can hear the thunder.
And I'm back.
And you're back.
I knew that was going to happen at some point. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm testing out a new system, a new way to do lives for me besides Restream like we're doing here, which, Becca, thank you again for having me on and letting me use this technology to do Restream, because it's kind of awesome that we're in two different places at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to do more lives in the future, and it's awesome that I figured out how to make this work.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy for you. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your plans are for the future? Or do you not know yet?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure it out right now and figure out what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. But I do hope to do more live videos, and I do hope to... I'm still going to do card videos and stuff. I'm not sure what the algorithm is going to think of me, because I'm doing card videos, I'm doing sewing videos, and the algorithm is on YouTube is going to have all kinds of issues trying to figure me out. But I'm excited to see what is going to happen and what kind of trouble I can get into.
Well, I think you just throw caution to the wind, forget the algorithm, and do whatever brings you joy. Because at the end of the day, people are going to watch because of you, not necessarily. I mean, you're going to get people that are there for sewing or card making or whatever, but I think personality plays a lot into whether or not people want to watch your videos.
Yeah. I've had a couple of people tell me that they miss my card videos, and so I definitely want to get back into that and create those. I think those maybe, I used to do them pre-recorded, but I might just do like card videos live from this point forward. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like I saw you doing at some point Puzzle Mystery Quilt Clues live.
I did in the very beginning, even before Cotton Cuts asked me to be an ambassador for them. I started doing the clues live because I used to stay up really late and just do my own thing, and then I would just stay up and I would just sew my clues together. So I like that in the way that I do them now. It really, I like that it helps people because they can get to a specific point quickly, instead of having to sit through like a whole live video. Nothing wrong with you doing lives, by the way. Please, audience, don't throw shade at me.
No, I'm not throwing any shade, and I'm not upset. I know what I want to do.
Yep, exactly. So that's why I do them via the edited videos, because it just, and plus I flub up and my machine will try to eat my fabric.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to fix this. So there we go. I just
want to get another. I want to get another monitor so that way, because the only time I can see chat is when I look down. Oh yeah, absolutely. The sewing channel. I would love for her to check out my videos. She was saying that her mom.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
She was saying, the sewing channel was saying that her mom makes cards as well, greeting cards, and so she's gonna have her mom check out my channel.
Sharon Mullen says, I use the block and lock rulers. Makes sense to my old quirky brain. I guess that's nice to have choices. Yes, the block I have one of those. I don't know where it is. You can absolutely use that. It, I feel like, works better when you press your seam to one side. Not as great when you press the seam open.
What is that? Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, maybe I actually do have it nearby. Let me just look here. Hold on. Nope, I do not. Okay, so I will just tell you what the ruler is. The block clock ruler is a square ruler that instead of having a 45-degree line on the ruler, you have a ledge on the back side of the ruler. And so the goal is that that ledge kind of bumps up against your seam so that it doesn't move, it doesn't wobble, it stays right
Oh,
on that seam. Yeah. So think of like the add a quarter ruler in foundation
yeah,
paper piecing,
yeah,
that combined with a square ruler.
got it. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. They have a tool for just about everything you'd want.
They do. And you can spend all the money you want to. Man, when I was at QuiltCon, there was I mean, even with COVID restrictions and all of that, there were still so many vendors and they all had so many things that they were selling. We have another quilt. We have the North Texas Quilt Festival coming up here in August, and I'm excited to see what the turnout is going to be this year. And I'm actually putting 2 quilts in that show.
One of them's the
Charm, not charm.
yeah.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, wait, what do you call that one? I couldn't
Charm,
remember.
not charm. Yep. Yep. The Charm, not charm, which I posted in your Facebook group. The
Awesome.
amazing quilting that my quilter did on it.
She did do a lovely job.
She did. I love that
You
I
know,
can just give her a quilt and be like, go crazy. And she just impresses me every step of the way.
is that was it edge to edge machine or did she do free motion on it?
It was a machine, but it was not edge to edge. She dropped in each triangle the pattern, and then on
Wow.
the lattice work, she dropped in the pattern for each of those lattice areas as well, which I was just, she spent like 35 hours on it, and she's amazing. If anybody is interested in a quilter, do you mind if I plug her?
Absolutely. Please do.
Okay. If anybody's looking for a quilter, yes, she accepts out-of-state work as well. Look for her on Google, The Very Thoughtful Quilter. The Very Thoughtful Quilter. She's on Instagram, but her webpage has all the information. If you're looking for a quilter, she is amazing.
So she can give you, using her Pro Stitcher, her computerized machine, she can give you the look of custom free motion quilting doing block by block. Is that what
Yep.
I'm hearing?
For
So
that
that's
one, yeah.
interesting. So
She
I actually
also,
heard, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was going to say that she also does edge to edge as well. She does edge to edge, she does custom, and then she also does that dropping in of the design as well.
So the reason why I brought that up is because I had gotten an email, and I haven't had a chance to reply to it, but I got an email from a viewer earlier today that was asking if I could recommend long arm quilters that would be able to do some custom quilting for a quilt that she has ready. And she just wanted some recommendations, some referrals. Of course, I was going to refer Teresa Louise and Tiffany if either one of them are taking clients, but this sounds like a third option that she could consider as well.
Absolutely. Yep. She's amazing. I take all of my quilts to her, and she also lets me rent time on her machine as well. So if I want to do a long arm myself, I can rent time on her machine to use. And that's what I did for Sparkle and Shine, the cotton cut Sparkle and Shine quilt. I rented her machine and did an edge to edge design.
Very cool.
Yep.
I think I need Mr. Tucker, who I thought I saw in the chat earlier, to come and use my machine to quilt my quilts.
There you go.
Oh no, wait. Brenda Foley said, I was just talking to So Yeah yesterday. How Becca kept her visit to So Yeah secret. I was so impressed. I was sitting on that for a couple of months before we left. And then after I went, I was sitting on that until their video launched. So yeah, I keep a secret. I keep my mouth shut. What state is she in, Ian? Your quilter.
She's in Texas. She's in Texas. She's in
Christy
Aledo,
D,
Texas.
Christy D said she can vouch for the thoughtful quilter as well.
Yep. Both Christy and I use her all the time.
Awesome. Welcome to Spools, Faith. Make sure you check out the video in the post about the Zoom on Sunday. And if you're having a hard time finding it, send me an email, Becca@SEWBECCA.com, and I will get you hooked up with all the information you need so that you can join us on... oh, wait, now it's retracted. Why is that message retracted? Did you unjoin? I don't know. I have no idea what happened. Anyway, yay. Are you all squared up, dog ears cut off, ready to go on to the next step?
Yep, I am. I am actually laying out my squares right now. I was looking at the pattern on your website and started just kind of laying them out.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work with the top row first, and we're going to build 2 units that look like big arrows. And the way we do this is I like to lay everything out so I can see it. They look, I think these are called like lightning blocks.
So you're going to have lightning quick to put together?
You're going to have one set. You're going to take 2 of the half square triangle units with the same fabric, and you're going to set it so that the middle piece is your background, and then you're going to take 2 where the middle pieces are the print. So you're making basically a flying geese unit where the white is in the middle down here, and then you're going to make a flying geese unit where the print is in the middle, and you're going to do that twice because those 4 pieces are going to go together to make the top part of your block. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well?
Yeah, I think so.
This way. So I'm going to take it
upside down, but
yeah, well, you know, I'm going to take a seam here, 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 and here, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to press those seams open, and then I will join these together to make a big row. You could, if you wanted to, like put this row together like that, and then this row together, and then join your rows. I just don't want to do it that way. I mean, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. You can assemble them by rows, or you can assemble the flying geese units and then put the flying geese units together. I feel like I'll have better control over the points if I do it this way. So I'm just going to lay these right sides together so that everything is matched up the right way. And now I know I'm going to sew along this side. So I'm just going to rotate this because this is the side I'm going to sew along. I'm going to take this to my machine and I'm going to start stitching. And I'm going to turn on my iron because I'm going to need that in a few minutes. Patty G said, Becca, good choice on fabrics. That's going to be so cool. Well, we got to give Ian a little bit of credit on that one too. Because he helped. Totally helped. You did helps. You did helps. Oops. By the way, I know I saw Tiffany in the chat, and poor girl's been dealing with some pain issues, but I just wanted to tell Tiffany I've got my knee bar installed, girl. She keeps telling me to do it, and I was having problems getting it lined up the right way so it wasn't rubbing on my machine or my table. And the other day I got it all figured out and installed, and I've been off and sewing with the knee lift ever since.
Reminds me, don't do it, girl. I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it. I'm only thinking about it, girl. I'm not going to do it. I did it. I love that stupid thing.
I know. Me too.
What's the other one? I love this one. It's a puppy dog. He's like, I was born a dog. I identify as a dog, but my mom says, I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. I love that one.
I also, there's just so many that are out there. I did accidentally inspire, I did an interview with Mr. Bone Sews YouTube, Instagram channel, And Mr. Bones actually took the inspiration from that interview and my suggestion and did one using the soundbite from The Office that's parkour, parkour, whoa,
Oh, parkour, parkour, parkour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We
Oh, that was
have
pretty
an
funny.
office. We love that show here. We watch that a lot.
I've never watched it, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. It's one of those shows that's stupid funny.
Right.
There's something about like stupid humor. I love it. I just do. I
Oh,
think it's hilarious.
you know what came out today, though, right?
What came out today?
Stranger Things. I'm so
Oh,
excited
I've never
for
seen that show.
that.
I've never seen it.
Blasphemy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Uh-oh.
So good. So good.
Rich Redley says, Becca, is it hard to get your brain to work the knee pedal from the foot pedal? So the knee pedal does not replace the foot pedal. All the knee bar does is helps lift the foot on my machine. So when I hit it to the right, it goes up. It does take a minute to remember that I don't have to reach around and do this, but it doesn't take long to get your brain trained to do that. Okay, so I want to, so before I sew my rows together, I am going to lay out my bottom part of this quilt, and I just want to point out that my flying geese units, they're going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to have like this.
Did I just do this wrong?
I don't know. Did you just do this wrong?
I don't know.
Like that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I did it wrong.
Okay. Don't worry, girl. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it. I did it.
I'm not going to do it. I did it. All right. So the bottom, the top goes this way. The bottom goes this way. So I'm going to sew these together, these purple flying geeses together, just like I did before. I'm going to very carefully make sure that everything's organized so that I know what side I'm sewing on. And then I'll bring them back to the project view and we'll press those open and then sew our top rows and then our bottom rows. And then we'll sew the last seam and it's going to be lovely. Warm up your iron, Ian.
Yeah, it's still warm, thankfully.
Does yours have an auto off?
It does. It does. It may start beeping here in a moment.
Beep, 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 beep. You're welcome.
Uh-huh. Exactly like that. Just like that.
I know. I can make so many good impressions of irons. Not really.
Your impressions are hot.
Ah! See what you did there. You got dad jokes. I love it.
I do got dad jokes. I actually have a coffee mug. One of my previous places that I worked, I was well known for my dad jokes, and so they got me I think it's for coffee, but it kind of looks like a tea cup, and it says King of Dad Jokes, and I'm like, yep, that's me.
Oh. Math Geek says that my colors remind her of Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip.
Ooh.
Now I want some ice cream.
I do want ice cream. Mint chocolate chip is not the thing for me, but I do like some ice cream.
What's your favorite?
Bluebell. Anything Bluebell.
Anything Bluebell.
Anything Bluebell. Yeah.
All right.
I just tried their Bluebell came out with a peachy peach flavor, and it was pretty good. I like that.
Chick-fil-A has, around this time of year usually, they have a peach milkshake that is to die for me. And I always I always have some. I always have one or two or whatever, but, or 10, whatever. This season, I'm only going to have one or two this season because sugar and points and all the things. And every time we go to Chick-fil-A, I'm like, wonder if they have that milkshake. And they don't. So no Chick-fil-A peach milkshake for me. Although I will say, one year I went to Detroit and A&W's peach milkshake was better than anyone else's.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Tucker. I see you lurking in the chat again. When are you gonna come use my long arm, Tucker? I have quilts that need to get done. Somebody was like, because so he's moving. Tucker's
Uh-huh.
gamel's all packed up, and he was
Oh,
talking about how he has sewing envy because his long arms and like packed up while they're moving and all this other stuff. I was like, well, you can come play on mine. He doesn't live too far from me, right? And he was like, I
there you
might
go.
have to take you up on that.
Right?
I was like, okay. And everybody in the chat was like, Becca, you're so nice. You're so nice to offer to let him use your. I was like, no, you don't understand. There's an ulterior motive. I have quilts that need
Right.
to get done.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I was like, he doesn't
By the
have to
way,
bring anything. I'll supply the thread, the batting, the backing, the top. You just bring your talent, dude.
there you go. By the way, I don't know if Michael is here, but hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I haven't seen Michael pop up in the chat, but then again, if you have been saying anything to me during this, I apologize. Because my chat is off to the side. I think that's what I want when I get my live studio set up. I think I want a monitor somewhere in front of me so that way I can read chat instead of having to, because it looks so awkward for me to look off to the side here, but it's all good.
Yeah. I have mine set up so that my big monitor is directly underneath my face cam. So when I'm looking at the camera, I can see the chat, or when I'm looking at the chat, it looks like I'm looking somewhat at the. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I need to do that.
Faith Smith said, I have used 200 comic boards with another 200 to go.
Oh my gosh.
Folding your fabric.
Wow.
That's a lot of folding. But imagine how beautiful it's going to be when it's done.
It's going to be so pretty.
So prettiful. All right, so now I am ready I've got all my Flying Geese units laid out or put together, and I'm just laying out this way.
Not working. I need a better setup for my iron.
Yep.
My iron is doing great. I'm in a bad place. I'm used to having my iron on the right side of me, and so having it on the left has been a little different. And I'm also I'm in a mess of cords. That's something else I'm going to have to work on, is how am I going to organize my cords better. The mulch shop. Gina in Azle says the mulch shop in Weatherford, Texas, is an extremely old establishment. They make all their ice creams themselves. And their peach milkshake is the bomb. Well, that's because the Weatherford, Parker County? Is that Parker County? Anyways, Weatherford has their own peach festival every year, and their peaches are so good.
Corrine Holshoe says, hi guys, first time. We have soft serve peanut butter ice cream and it's to die for. All you guys are talking about. I will tell you, I went when we went in to see my in-laws, Jason's family, last Saturday, and we went to this new ice cream place, and I got one scoop. I got one scoop in a cake cone, didn't even get the waffle cone, and it was blackberry. Oh, I loved it. Good. Blackberry was delicious.
Amazing.
And now I want more.
I tried while I was at QuiltCon, I love coffee. I'm a coffeeholic. And I wanted to try a lot of local places. Instead of going to Starbucks, I wanted to try some of the local brands. And I had a peanut butter coffee thing, and I was not a fan.
Oh, really?
I was right. Parker County Peach Festival. I was right. Sorry, I was right. I was like, that's Parker County, but then I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. But it was. I'm sorry. Yeah, peanut butter coffee, no go for me.
Okay. I don't think those two flavors should ever cross. Peanut butter chocolate, sure. Peanut butter coffee,
No, not a fan.
Awesome. I can see, it looks like you're getting close. Are you almost, do you have, okay, good. So you have all of your Flying Geese, okay. I'll wait for you to catch up, because if you're still working on it, then somebody else is too. So we'll hang tight for a second. Starbucks is local here in Washington State. Susan. Oh, they're putting in a new Starbucks. Like, this is hilarious. Okay, so literally from where we live, if I go out to the main road that runs by our house, I can go on that road and there's a Starbucks drive-through about 2 miles away, maybe 3. And then a mile from my house is a Starbucks, but they don't have a drive-in. It's in like a strip mall, so you gotta go into the store. You can't just drive through. But literally across the street from that Starbucks, you know what they're putting in? Another Starbucks.
Yeah, yeah.
This one with a drive-through.
I'm actually a Starbucks convert. I do like Starbucks. It is wonderful. But I have been going to Dutch Brothers. They just opened Dutch Brothers here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area about, I would say it was like 6 months ago. 6 months, maybe a year. And Dutch Brother is so good. And they have so many drinks besides coffee. They have smoothies. They have Italian sodas. They have their own kind of like energy drink, like a Red Bull or something like that. But it doesn't make me jittery. I really like it. So Dutch Brothers is my new obsession, and Starbucks is good. If I go to a city that doesn't have Dutch Brothers, I'll go to Starbucks any day. But yeah, Dutch Brothers is where it's at.
I've never heard of Dutch Brothers until I heard you talk about it, so that's new to me.
So good.
Quiltessa is asking, what was the name of the strip quilt that we did in the Spools Zoom last month? That was the Jelly Roll Sizzle, free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. Super easy to do. We started it and finished our quilt tops all in one afternoon, so highly recommend.
Dee says, oh my God, Dutch Brothers is smoking. Yeah, you know.
All right, so let's get started with our next step. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. So now that we have all of our flying geeses pressed and sewn together, we're just going to lay them out in the order we want them to go in the block. And so we're just going to put these together in a row and then these together in a row. And here's the trick for us. Each time we sew, there's going to be a point that we want to try to preserve as best we can. That said, if it gets cut off, it's not a big deal. Here's how I keep my point. When I put these two pieces together, I'm going to put them right sides together, but I'm going to sew with this one on top. And you can't see it because it's a little washed out, but if I bring it in nice and close, you can kind of, I said, focus. There you go. You can see that little V right there because I pressed open. That V that's turquoise right here, this teal right here, if I stitch one thread to the left of, or I'm sorry, one thread to the right of it, meaning I go through the blue on the back side of this seam, then I'm not going to lose my point. Now, if this would have been pressed over to one side, I would have seen an X on the back side with my thread. This is a little bit easier to see visually. So I'm going to pin my fabric together if I want to, or just hold it with my fingers and go to my sewing machine. And I'm just going to make sure that when I'm stitching, my thread goes through that little V that I showed you. And that's going to help preserve your point, keep it from getting chopped off.
I did that on the Puzzle Mystery quilt, and I still lost some of my points, and I was so sad.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, but you know, my rule is if I'm only chopping off the point by a couple of threads, then it's fine.
Yeah.
So here we go. You can see, I'll bring it in closer. There's my point. Perfect. I guess, granted, it probably could be a little bit closer if I'm being honest, but like, I'd rather have a floating point than a chopped off one. So now I'm going to take these other two and do the same thing.
Probably going to lose this
You're
point.
welcome,
Dang
Rich.
it. That's all right.
Rich Rudley said, thank you for the good pointer with pressing the seams open and looking for the little V. You are welcome.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you for these seams, I'm going to press them in whichever direction the fabric wants to go. I think on the top, I'm going to press everything over towards the right, just because I feel like it's going to be a little too much to get these open as well. It's going to be a lot of bulk in one area. So I'm just going to press them from the back. That gets me a little bit more control over getting my seam pressed the right way. And then I'll flip it over to the front and give it some heat from up here.
Press it.
Bernie
Press it
Chamberlain
good.
wants to know no, my white fabric is not the grunge dot. I'm actually not sure what this is. I feel like it might be a Tula pink dot, but I really honestly just don't know. It was a fat
I
quarter.
don't think it is. I'm not sure though.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Well, it is a white dot, and I don't know what it is, but I know it's not grunge. Maybe it was a leftover Lella or something. I don't know. I feel like the dot's too big for it to be Lella, but okay. Now we've got our 2 lightning blocks that are blue. I'm going to do the same thing down here, so I'm going to end up with 4 blocks all together. Believe these are called lightning blocks, and the only reason why I think that is because I made a quilt for my nephew. He's 3 now, or gonna be 3 or something. When my sister found out she was pregnant, I made a quilt for him, and I made this exact block, and the pattern that I used called these lightning blocks. So I think these are called lightning blocks.
That makes sense. I need a switching board. That would be so much easier.
So on the for all of my little lightning blocks, I'm pressing the seam towards the flying geese unit that has the print in the body, not the white. If I do that with the blue and the purple, then these seams are going to be going in opposite directions, which will allow me to nest them when I put everything together.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
It looks like the tonal white dot from Sincerely Yours by Sherry and Chelsea from Moda. I probably is that. I love Sherry and Chelsea. Speaking of quilts, Becca, did you get your package? Yes, I did. Tiffany, it's beautiful, but I can't show it until, it's a secret. Hello, Jim.
Secret?
Welcome to the live stream. It is. I'll talk to you about it offline.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can tell everybody because I'm pretty sure she's not watching. Because she would have been all over the chat if she was. But I had Tiffany work on a special project for my mom for her birthday. So when mom comes in, she'll be here in a couple of weeks. When mom comes in, she'll get it then. I just don't want to show it until after she gets it. But I promise you guys will see it in a couple of weeks because mom will be here. It's amazing, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. So.
That'll be exciting.
Mm-hmm. All right, I've got all of these nice and pressed. So now I've got 4 lightning bolt blocks.
I'm still pressing mine.
That's fine.
I'm manhandling them because the one thing about flying geese is the points always get really kind of difficult to press out. So in my tutorial videos, I'm always like, you got to manhandle them. I also need a clapper. That's what I need.
Yeah. I need my clapper, actually. That's a great idea. Why?
Yeah. That's what you pay me for.
That's what I pay you for. Thank you for reminding me to get my clapper.
Clap on. Clap off.
Susan Year Out says, what is the name of the quilt block that the star points are a 3/4 quarter square triangles It's what I used in my UFO, and I can't find the name anywhere. Is
Oh,
that the Ohio store? Ohio Star, maybe? I don't know. Felice Waters wants to know, when is my mom's birthday? Her birthday is in July, but she'll get her birthday gift a little ahead of. Well, actually, maybe I'll wait and give that to her in July because I'll see her for her birthday.
um, I made a boo boo.
Uh-oh, you made a boo-boo. What's your
I
boo-boo?
did make a boo boo. Look at the.
What's your
I
boo-boo?
have my block that is correct, that has the
Uh-huh.
nice,
Yeah.
and then I
Yes.
have the block that's not nice.
Well, that's easy. You just rip the seam and change the
Yep.
orientation. Yep.
I have to go grab my seam ripper because, of course, I didn't bring that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fair. My mom's in the chat. She was lurking. Ah, mother. Susan, you're out. Is it maybe the Orient Star that, like, what is her name? Sorry, I can't. I'm choking on your name, Tracy. Tracy did a tutorial on her YouTube channel yesterday, I think. Maybe it's that. So, Mom, I have a surprise for you when you come up here. And Tiffany and I worked on this together, and that's all I'm going to tell you. And we're not going to talk about it anymore. Lurking in the chat. Good grief. Nancy Sexton, everybody. Nancy Sexton. Good grief. See, this is why I was like, it's almost 10 o'clock. There's no way my mom's in here.
And then she was.
You can never tell about your mama. Star of the Orient. True. Yeah, that's the one that Tracy just did. Tracy said, Ian, just keep it. Make it an inverted chevron.
No, I wanted to get it. I thought about it for half a second. I'm like, no, it would bother me. It's that OCD in me.
People are saying hi to Mom. Pat's like, no lurking.
That's hilarious. That's funny that she was lurking.
Metro Stitcher says, now you know she lurks. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Tiffany said, that's why I was hesitant to ask Becca, but while I was thinking of it, I wanted to know if it showed up safely. Yeah, it did.
It sure did. It showed up safely, and the cat's out of the bag.
Well, literally, it's out of the bag now. I can't. We gotta wait for Mama to see it in person before we can show it off. But you guys, it's amazing, and you can't wait. I can't wait for you to see it. Pat Strawhouse said, "We love you, Mama Nancy." Oh, and she even did a purple heart. That's my mom's favorite color. Great. I can feel her head swelling from Southwest Virginia. Oh, Jenny Harris said she's been in the chat for a while. She must have been talking earlier.
She must have.
Yeah. Janet Johnson said, have you both signed up for the new Cotton Cuts mystery quilt? Yes, I am doing a large Nirvana. And Ian, what are you doing?
I'm doing a large San Marco.
There you go.
And if you are going to sign up, don't forget to use either, what is it?
Ian Piazza or Becca Piazza.
Yeah, that one. I was like, I was wanting to flip them. I was trying to do Piazza Ian or Piazza Becca, and that's not it. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. It's always the name, so Ian or Becca, and then the name of the mystery quilt. That's the format that they use. So if you can't ever remember, that's it. That's it. There you go.
Janet signed up.
Oh wait, sorry. I'm trying to pin the chat. There was a question. Anne Marie said, Becca, will you be doing more crochet lives or videos? Yes, I will. But I think I'm going to save those for a non-Friday night. I think I want to keep Friday night to sewing or quilting, at least for right now. But I am definitely interested in doing more live streams with some crochet stuff. I just need to find the right setup because I feel like I can't get the camera to focus on it the right way. So More to come. I'm definitely open to it. Don't have any plans right now other than maybe some stuff in the fall, but definitely more to come. Jim says, it just shows that your mama is always around. Yes, she is. Always lurking. We've got a message from Corrine Holshoe. She wants to know, Becca, where are you from? Originally, I am from the Detroit area, but about a long time ago, about 2005, I moved to Virginia. So I live in Northern Virginia right now. And actually, this is where we live, not right now. I'm not planning to move. We're in Northern Virginia.
And I am thinking about maybe moving closer.
Yeah, come on, Ian. Delia said, how did the bee come out? It didn't. It is a ball. Oh, no. Lori Fayer said, I was on the fence about signing up. By the time I decided, my first choice was sold out. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm so glad.
Did you sign up on the waiting list? There is a waiting list. That's another great thing that Cotton Cuts does, is if a colorway sells out, they will list if there's a high chance of getting more in, a medium chance, or a low chance. And then you can sign up to be on the waiting list to be notified if they do get more of that color in, because those ladies and gentlemen work very hard over there to try to pre-plan which is going to be the most popular colorway for people to order. And so they'll order a lot of fabric. I interviewed Kim she's the owner of Cotton Cuts, and I don't remember if that made it into the actual interview or not, but she told me how much fabric they were buying. And this was a year or two ago. And I can't believe that they have room for all that fabric, because they just order bolts and bolts and bolts and bolts and bolts of fabric.
Very cool. VR said you should go to Michigan, and Lori is on the waiting list, by the way.
Excellent.
So what are you thinking of when you're talking about moving closer to this area? Folks are going to ask. So
I know they are,
okay.
and I'm going to keep that close to the chest right now. I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest, and it's at least a year off. So unfortunately, it won't be anytime soon. But you may see me in a year or two in a different location.
There you go. Well, I think we will see you in a couple of months in a different location as well. Your backdrop will be changing.
I think so.
All right, are we ready to move on? We've got our little 4 blocks. Are you good? Are they good. Do you have 4 lightning blocks like this?
I do.
This way, yes. I think it's hilarious how your animation, by the way, your cut screen is chevron blocks. They're like shoop, 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 shoop. I don't know how to do that
way.
But I didn't, and I don't know how yet. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't want it.
It's so easy. No, you do want it. Trust me.
All right, so here we go. We're going to orient. Now, here's the beauty of this. It doesn't matter how we sew this together. You're always going to have the top going one direction. If you turn this around, the top is always going to go the same way. Do you see that? Yeah, just showing you. So it doesn't matter which one's on top or which one's on bottom when we sew it, as long as the print A is in a row and the print B is in a row. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you have your layout the way you want it to be. We're going to take a seam here and a seam here. And this is the same thing that we did before. I've got a point right here that I don't want to lose. So when I put these right sides together, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to look at the back. And instead of having a blue little V, I have a little white V. So I'm going to pay attention to that. And then we're going to press the seam. I'll show you which way we'll press it in a minute. We're going to do that for the top and the bottom. So we're making our top row and our bottom row.
I think it's Glennie. I'm so bad with names, so if I pronounce that incorrectly, Glennie said that this will be their 5th mystery quilt, and Janet said that this will be their 4th mystery quilt.
Wow, we got some veterans.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Tiffany said the dragon is staring at me. I should pet him. I don't want to know what you mean by that.
What? Dragon? Tiffany,
Yeah.
you never told me you had a dragon. Oh, is it a bearded dragon? Does she own a bearded dragon?
I do. I
You
have a
do?
bearded dragon. I do, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we call him Soul. Her Soul. It's a girl.
That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Once I have my seam for both of these blocks, I'm going to press them this time towards the flying geese that has the white for the body. And so what you're going to see from the back is all of the seams are going in the same direction.
It's my cat. He's the dragon right now.
I thought, I won't even say it, but my mind was in the gutter. I don't.
That's my job.
Well, she shaved the cat earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember which. They shaved the cat, but they shaved him everywhere except for like his head. I think that's what she said. So now I know. Now I get the dragon reference because he probably looks like a dragon. I was like, what do you mean the dragon? I don't understand. Oh yeah, you shaved the cat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I love that Tula pink fabric. Yes, it's very cute.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
The cat's name is Thumper. Yep. My grandson has a bearded dragon, so cute, and my granddaughter's name is Zoe, and her cousin's name is Hannah. Oh my goodness, around to it. Are you like my sister? I'm just curious, because like I think you're a part of my family. You got all my family members in your family. He's a little dragon lion. Cool Tessa wants to know, why did you shave the cat? Oh, I might have opened a can of worms for Teresa or Tiffany. I'm sorry, Tiffany. Okay, do you have your stripes?
Almost. I'm pressing
Look,
them.
and if you go like this, they're like Marine Corps stripes. Look.
Oh yeah.
Isn't this the stripes that? Oh wait, what? Oh, this way. There. Now I can be. You know what we should do one night? A friendship braid. I love friendship braids.
What's that?
You don't know what a friendship braid is?
I don't.
It's essentially this, with like each time would be different fabrics. Essentially,
okay.
It looks kind of like that.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, your arms aren't long enough to braid my hair.
Your hair's not long enough to be braided.
That's very true.
All right, so now that we have our fabric, we pet it, we tell it how much we love it, and then we sew it together. So we're going to put these two rows together. Our seams should be going in opposite direction, and so that means that we can get these to nest up really nicely. If you wanted to, you could pin each of these intersections before you take it to the machine, but I actually don't do that. I just hold it. I hold the first seam in place and I go over to my machine. I go over to my machine. I sew that first bit right up to that first seam, and I'm holding that seam in between my two fingers, and then I'm going to sew 1/4 inch, holding this seam until I get it up under the presser foot. And then as soon as that's under the presser foot, I stop. I nest up the next seam and I hold it with my finger until that gets under the presser foot. And then I stop and I line up my last seam. I nest up my next seam and I go until that's under the presser foot. And then I stop, and then I'm going to line up the raw edges and hold the end of my fabric and sew completely off.
My fabric's it's getting trapped by the presser foot. There we go.
And with this seam, you could press it open if you wanted to, or you can press it to one side. I'm just going to press it to one side because I don't really feel like it's going to. Oh, wow, that turned out pretty dang on good. Like this is legit a nice block.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. All right, so here's how I get my block really nice and flat. This is my final step. I've got everything all sewn together. Now I'm going to grab some Best Press and I'm going to spritz the block way more than what's really needed, but you know. And then I'm going to come in with my iron, and this is going to help it lay even flatter. You can do this with steam if you wanted to. I just happen to really love Best Press. I should buy stock in Best Press. And then I'm going to do one side of the block, put my clapper on it, and then I'm going to come over and press the other side. While this is cooling, I can press this other side of my block and get all of that starch dried up.
I don't have my Best Press over here. I'll have to do that after we get off the live, but here is mine.
Very pretty. I'm curious, what does yours measure at?
Let's see here. Well, you know my name is the off-kilter crafter. So that plays very much into it is not straight. My edges are not straight. So it is just under 7 inches.
Okay, that's respectable.
It's a little wonky. It's a little wonky, but it is just under 7 inches.
Okay. I am just a few threads bigger than 9.5, so I'm going to square mine up.
Oh, maybe I should do that. Oh, I don't have a ruler big enough. That's why. Oh no. Well, maybe I could do it 6.5. That's weird. The center of my block is not the center of my block.
Well, what are you going to do with your wee little block?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I just kind of wanted to do this, and wow, how did that get so off the center? Oh, well, anyway, it's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Nobody will know. They'll never know. How will they know? They'll never know.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may just make it like a mug rug or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking this would be a really cute mouse pad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to I forgot, I'm going to put this in my quilt.
Yes, you got to put it in your quilt.
So that's it. That is our block. Super, super, super cool. Super cool.
Fun time.
I'm really happy with how those turned out. And it's super flat because we took the time to press all the half square triangle units and the flying geese, the seams open, and then towards the end we didn't press anything open. So super flat, super cute, super amazing. You can do this too.
Yeah, you can. It's super easy.
Oh gosh, Tiffany and Eric got married, and they're
what?
I didn't even know that they got married. They're calling each other hubby and wifey.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if Scott knows.
Yeah, it's
Hello, Eric. All right, guys, that's
little block.
A wee little block. That's everything for our live stream tonight. Sorry. That's all we've got for you. We are just going to put this block together and do a little chat. Ian, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is a cute little block, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. It'll be great.
I know. I got to figure out something good.
Yep. If you have not checked out Only the Quilting World, she proposed with the wedding ring quilt. Gotcha. Nancy Sexton, Mama is still lurking. We see you. Don't worry. If you have not checked out Ian's channel already, if you do exclamation Ian in the chat on my channel right now, you'll get a link over to his channel. I encourage you to go check him out. In the coming months, he's going to be promoting or producing more content for his channel, and it'll be worth giving him a subscribe so you can check that stuff out. If you are new to me and you're on his channel, check me out too. Come on over to SEWBECCA's channel and hit that subscribe button. And other than that, I think the only things I wanted to tell you is I have a video coming up for block number, whatever block number I'm on. I'm ahead of what the videos are, so I can't remember what's releasing. But there is a video releasing 9 a.m. on Sunday morning for my Brightside Quilt-Along video series I'm doing. And next Friday, we will be doing a cotton cuts challenge. It'll be just me, my 6 half-yard cuts of fabric from cotton cuts, and I have no idea what I'm making. So come watch me succeed or fail. We'll figure it out. Ian, anything else you want to share before we sign off for the night?
I can't think of anything, but thank you again so much for letting me be here, and I hope everybody will come check out my channel if you haven't already. And Becca and I both are trying really hard to hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. I have a long way to go. Becca's much closer than I am, but we're both trying to. We want that plaque. I'll be straight up with y'all. We want that plaque. So if you would help us out, hit that subscribe button and check out our content, and of course interact with. I don't know if you can hear my iron. It's trying to turn off.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, interact. That lets YouTube know that you like our videos, and that helps the algorithm push out our videos to even more eyes, so that way even more people can enjoy our shenanigans and antics.
Yeah. Everything he just said. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live with the Cotton Cuts Challenge. And 2 weeks from now, grab scraps and meet us back here because I'll have Tracy from the Sewing Channel on live with us. And we're going to do crumb piecing with the purpose. See y'all later.
Bye, everyone.